All right, let's start. Let's just go ahead and start messing around. Welcome. Welcome. Here we are. Once again. Let me do my setup over here. If you haven't seen the premise of today's stream is to settle on, I would hope, like kind of a short list of the must-watch stuff. The shows out right now that have been very recent or are current, they're actively releasing episodes that you just need to check out in terms of animation. So that is the goal. I I regularly get really good recommendations here from folks in the stream or just elsewhere in my life for things to watch, for animated stuff to watch, both shows and movies. But I don't know, it's almost too much at times, and especially right now when I just don't have that much free time, I would really hope to, or I really want to, uh, narrow it down a little bit and focus on the stuff that's current, that's happening, and that people are very much interested in talking about, right? So that is what we will be doing at some point, with a little bit of research here and hopefully just lots of recommendations from other people. So yeah, so that's what we got. As usual, uh, as usual, we will just look at some, headlines and stuff, recent news, recent topics, in usually mostly animation, sometimes video games if it comes up too. But yeah, we'll do all the casual stuff. Just hanging out for a while. Will it be a short stream? I don't know. Guess we'll find out. And yeah, go from there. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Here we go. Just let me get set up. Yeah, let's put the news stuff over here. Most anticipated list from the end of last year also might be helpful to us, just in terms of gauging, just in terms of putting stuff on our radar, right? Also, I apologize that my hair looks like this today, but see what we've got going for now. Okay. All right. Even load? Looks like this didn't load. Wanna try again? Gonna give it another shot. We'll let it sit for a while. Let's go ahead and look at good old Cartoon Brew. Harold and the Purple Crayon. Remember Rio? The whole thing, huh? Warner Brothers The Cat in the Hat animated feature? For a moment I was I thought they were gonna say 2024 for some reason. I was like, that's shocking. I hadn't even heard of this before. Okay. I mean, there won't be much information here. It's much too early for that. Something we talked about briefly last week. Kung Fu Panda 4 is apparently doing pretty well. I don't know. I having not seen it yet, I can't really comment too much on that. But yeah, there we go. What else do we have here? Do for music video. Now good on music videos. This is somewhat interesting. Starburns is the production company, right? For Rick and Morty and other. They're adapting a fantasy comedy podcast. which really strikes me as similar to what was it? Legend of Vox Machina? Is that the one that was sort of based on Critical Role, right? Which people liked. I still don't understand why. um Hey Ugo, good morning to you too. I don't know. I guess I'll open this one up, but this portion of the Adapt Fantasy Comedy Podcast is really throwing me in terms of my interest. And then everything else is a week ago. We don't have anything else here. Yeah, that was the D&D group, right? Critical Role was the voice actors playing D&D, and then Vox Machina was the show that based on that captured absolutely none of the spirit of that show, like of the original project. I just just don't get it. But let's read. Sorry for how bright that yellow rectangle is. Wow, that's impressive. Okay. All right. What do we have here? I don't know this podcast. Here's a synopsis for its fifth season, or just for the show overall. I'm Arnie. I fell through a portal behind a Burger King and found myself in a strange magical land called Foon. Somehow I'm getting a Wi-Fi signal, so I host a weekly podcast interviewing creatures, wizards, and adventures. I recommend listening from the beginning, but hey, you do you. Okay. Okay. I this will vary so much person to person, you know, but I just by seeing any of this just immediately makes me think of the literally dozens of other earnest or joke centric D&D or D&D like podcasts, you know, tabletop gaming podcasts that have just swarmed. I don't know, certainly internet culture, the podcast world for years and years now, right? And again, depending on how many of those you have been exposed to, I think that will drastically affect how you view this project, both the source material and this adaptation. Because, you know, obviously it's okay, we have just a real world character. So that's our straight man. Sorry, that's the term I guess we still use for that comedy stuff as far as I know. But also you get this, you know, the sense of, just from this, I get the sense of it's kind of low effort, you know, kind of like Winky Face fantasy world stuff, right? That kind of premise. It's also just like an improver's dream, right? This is all. This is how people who do improv comedy get work outside of like acting, outside of real shows and movies. Oh, sorry. They do things like this, and just, yeah, I don't know. Like I've had my fill of that style, you know, for a long time. I don't know. I just don't. So bright. I just don't see myself being involved. Obviously, Starburns being involved at all is something. You know, like if you want to say that's just, oh, that's the mark of quality, and we're just gonna trust whatever they put out, fine. I don't think that's where I'm at necessarily. So yeah. Also, Dan Harmon had one of these podcasts, as they point out. Slash shows. Did they animate a little bit of that one? Was that a CISO original? Man, that I don't know why I still have that name logged away. Sorry. Ugo says, what about Midnight Gospel, which was based on a podcast from Pendleton Ward? Well, you see, I did not think it was Pendleton Ward's podcast. Pendleton Ward, I thought, was heavily involved in the animation for that show. and I like the animation for that show a lot. But it's but who's the comedian who actually had the podcast? I forget his name too. Anyway, I reviewed that show a long time ago on the channel, and I don't think my feelings have changed fundamentally. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah. Even at the, I mean, to the earlier point of just like saturation, you know, of certain types of podcasts. At the time, I think it was, well, even still, it kind of holds up as its own unique thing. And of course, it wasn't a story-based podcast. It was just like very conversational, interview focused. But they added all these insane, you know, acid sci-fi visuals and stuff just to accompany the conversations. Whereas this stuff, or you know, Critical Role, or Adventure Zone, or any of the other hundreds, you know, that are more focused on a core of, oh, we're playing a tabletop game, we are doing a story thing, we're doing some world building. I don't know, less special immediately, you know, just based on how many exist. Duncan Trussell, yes. Yes. Stand up Duncan Trussell, who does all that other stuff. And the show was created by Ward. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think, wow, I remember so much of that review. But one of the things I said was watch it with the sound off, which is too mean. I don't know. I think I would be a little bit more forgiving to the interview portions of the show now and the interviewees. At the time, I was really not into it. And really didn't find it especially interesting. But no, I loved how that show looked. And yeah, hey, look, you know, if this turns out to be an incredible looking show, sure. But based on the premise, it is interviews of fantasy things in the fantasy land. Would not the visuals be focused on an interview? Right? Like, is it just going to be people sitting in, I presume, at a magic tavern of some kind? I don't know. But yeah, well, there's that. I'm not terribly, but we got nothing. We have to look at something else here. What else do we have? I guess we'll look at the cat. Harold and the Purple Crayon, which, by the way, is not it's not a property that I grew up with or have like strong feelings about. I don't know about you, Ugo. Were you a Harold kind of person? What do we have? Live action debut. Okay. Right. Kind of like Chalk Zone. After he grows up and draws himself off the book's pages and into the physical world, Harold finds he has a lot to learn about real life, and that his trusty purple crayon may set off more hilarious hijinks than he thought possible. When the power of unlimited imagination falls into the wrong hands, it will take all of Harold and his friends' creativity to save both the real world and his own. I can immediately see the end of that movie already. I can see the end. I like using the power of creativity to beat the bad. Like, I can see it. I can see it. I can hear the score music that they will put behind it. If it's not a licensed track, it very well might be a licensed track. I don't know. And this is Harold? Is this what I'm this is what I am to believe? Here's a manhole. Ugo says, this is the first time I've heard the name Harold. Really? Is it? Harold and the Purple Crayon is the thing. Do we have any photo? No, I thought we might have some screen caps or something of the original work. Yeah, adult Harold. You know what he reminds me of? Let's see if I can find it. Here. The way that character is drawn reminds me of this guy. Sorry, can I get them both on the screen at once? Sort of. This guy from the Big Thinkers video games is what I think of. So there we have it. I wish I could watch the, well, I can't watch it on the screen, but I could watch it over here. What network was the show? Let's do a little tiny bit of research. Please don't give me just results for the new thing. So it's a book that is the original work. Apparently it's from the 50s. That's very, very old. From Crockett Johnson. I mean, hey, man. Okay, I'm getting results for a show from 01, 02. One season. What channel was it on? HBO Family, it says? Wow. Yeah. The show. He creates things, like I said, it's like Chalk Zone with a crayon. And it just kind of generally looks like this. You know? Looks fine. Anyway, like I said, it just wasn't one that I had grown up with, so I don't have, you know, a ton of great commentary for that. But yeah, anyway, it's coming back, because why not, I suppose. I don't remember, did it say, no, it's theaters. I was wondering if it was going to Netflix for some reason. But yeah, let me see. Just for kicks, let me see if I can watch a little bit of this trailer on mute. And I already kind of hate it, unfortunately. Crockett Johnson House. We know what that's referencing. Okay. We have drawings that are, you know, it's the same art style from the book and series. There's a weird sculpture of Harold. The book also apparently exists in this world, which is strange. I guess that's where he was living, right? Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, no. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, 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 nope. Not for me. His crayon animal friends turned into humans, I think. They turned into celebrity casting. No, yeah, no. Nope, 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 nope. My God. There's a tricycle, like a motorcycle tricycle. Uh-huh. The effect of drawing stuff with a crayon in 3D space, I guess looks pretty good. I can't conceive of how, you know, that would be executed on a technical level. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those for one thing, it's one of those movies with a man-child protagonist. Elf is the go-to example of that kind of thing, right? Which has never been my favorite thing. But it also looks like it might be one of those hide the thing movies, which is I was gonna say famously, but that doesn't make sense. I have been outspoken about how much I hate hide the thing movies, especially like children's movies. Harry and the Hendersons is my example, or Monsters Inc. E.T. to a certain extent is a hide the thing movie. I don't know. I never like the idea. Oh, look, here's the likable characters who are probably children or children in their brains, and there's a special thing that the real world just won't accept or understand. They got to hide the thing, and so much of the movie is the stress of that, and it clashes with this really the real world sense of like the government will confiscate your magic thing and try to murder you, right? Like that's how it would play out in real life, probably. Um, so that is not not appealing to me. Ugo says never read the books. Movie stars Zachary Levi. Yeah, is that who? What was he? What was he? Was he in Shazam? Is that why? Yeah, he was. So now he's getting typecast as adult man who is a child in the brain, I guess, which is really, that's a real niche to get yourself involved in. Being the star of Chuck would not be bad, right? You could be the Chuck guy for like the rest of your life. Yep, Chuck and Shazam is what they've got for this gentleman. And Alvin and the Chipmunks. Entangled? Was he he was Flynn Rider. Okay. There you go. Anyway, we're moving on. Again, I don't expect there will be a lot of info on this, but let's just see. And you know what, Warner Brothers? You're in a real spot right now. You're in a real spot to be announcing stuff you may or may not actually release into theaters or anywhere. So, yeah. Here's a list of people who will be crushed if this movie never gets released. Because says he voiced Flynn Rider in Tangled, so I think he's been doing this for some time. Doing what? I wouldn't consider Flynn Rider like a child-brained character, I don't think. Although he does get kicked by the horse at some point, is that right? I think I kind of like Flynn Rider as a character. That movie, is fine. It's fine, but I think I like it more than it deserves for whatever reason. I really like the environments. The forest environments in Tangled are very good. It's just great. That part of it is great. And some good musical numbers, to be honest. Not bad at all. Okay. What else we got here? Yes. Oh, sorry. So they didn't give us a synopsis for this Cat in the Hat movie that is definitely happening, trust us. But they have some sort of comment. In the wonderfully whimsical tradition of Dr. Seuss, The Cat in the Hat comes to the big screen in his animated theatrical feature film debut. Okay. Technically. Doing what he does best, spreading joy to happyless kids. In the film, the cat takes on his toughest assignment yet, to cheer a ellipsis? Is that a real ellipsis, like an omission, or? I think it's just as a style thing. To cheer a pair of siblings struggling with their move to a new town. Okay. I mean, I guess we wouldn't, we shouldn't expect anything too different for the story. It's a book, the things that happen in the book are Bill Hader as the cat. Hi. Matt Berry is there. Paula Pell is there. Okay. Overjoyed to partner with her friends at Dr. Seuss. That's odd. Okay. Okay, but yeah, obviously pre-production there. So yeah, will it come out? I don't know. Oh my gosh! And for them specifically to greenlight an animation feature film, like they have specifically been cutting animated features. I just don't. And from properties that are similarly similarly well known, I would say. I don't know. I just don't. I'll believe it when it actually hits theaters on. That's also for a release date. That is so far out, isn't it? That is a very confident release date. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, there we have it. Not a lot else here. Yeah, I don't. Oh my god. I wish I could show you. You can watch that trailer on your own device. It's okay. But yeah, I wish I could show you. Anything here? Anything interesting? Uh, Uga says or asks Bill Hader the Barry guy. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Bill Hader of Barry and a few other things. Like oh, it would have been better if I could remember the name. The Stuntman movie with Andy Samberg. The movie that his ex-wife directed, based on her life supposedly, which I also forget the name of that one. Or writing for South Park, which I doubt he still does. I doubt, unless it just pays so well and he loves it so much. But I don't know. But yeah, I mean, hey, a big get. Also, like, I don't know. I feel like it's was the pre-Barry era for Bill Hader when he was doing a lot of voice acting stuff. I think is that correct? So it has been a while. I guess we could have been tempted to think that he was, he had ascended or something. He didn't want to do that, but here he is. There you go. Looked at this last week, but they're apparently doing an animated series for Sakuna of Rice and Ruin, which I actually am kind of excited for. Like, that could actually be kind of interesting. But yeah, not too much else here. Is this another article about the food waste ad from one of the Godzilla -0 people? Also, did anyone see that? Did anyone see that Godzilla movie? I didn't see that Godzilla movie. Food Lasla. There you go. It's a commercial. It's an ad with a food waste monster. And why not, Why not? I would assume this is sort of the equivalent of the ad council stuff here in the US, where it's just like, hey, we want to look good. So we'll do some nice stuff. We'll make a bus stop ad about how you should be a good father. That's a pretty good summary of ad council, I think. Okay. Slow week. I am deciding based on, looking at two websites very quickly. But yeah, not a ton here. Any releases that we have to worry about in terms of animated movies? Kung Fu Panda 4, I guess, is the only game in town. There's that, and question mark. That's what we got. Okay, so let's move on then. It's also 6:30. It's a good time. Let's move on to trying to carve out this list here, and it's gonna be real messy. Oops. I think I'm gonna go with these most anticipated lists, and just give these websites some traffic, and just see if they give us anything worth considering. Category for this. Well, we can't read this website, so bye. Uh, let's see what we got. Because honestly, right off the bat, just off the top of my head, Hazbin Hotel. I would think, regardless of whether they are still releasing new episodes right now, I would absolutely put it on that list. Like it's just something you need to, something you need to watch or be aware of in terms of animation in 2024. Let's just put it up there for now, just so we have that ready to go. What else do we have? Sorry, I'm also, the mic is never in exactly the right place where I can see everything. How about this? Hugo says, have you seen Day Job, a web animation by an Australian studio? There are only 3 episodes, and I think they're kind of good. I haven't. I don't think. I haven't watched it. I might have heard of it, but let's take a look. Is it current? It looks current. It says 2024. That's good enough for me. Let me pull this up. Animated documentary that follows. Well, that's kind of interesting on a documentary angle, I guess. Follows the lives of the overqualified young staff of a dingy local bowling alley. Almost sounds like The Flick. Remember that big hit play, The Flick? It's certainly going up. I don't know if this is the nomination so far or just the finals. I guess we'll see how it goes. But here we are, Day Job. I got it. I'll absolutely put it here. It's current. It has a nice rating on IMDb, which is certainly not the be-all end-all, but it's something. And it's potentially not from the U.S. Yeah, those cast names. Well, never mind. Cool. Awesome. Bowling Alley 2. Why was that? Bowling Alley character a while ago. Not do that. Hazbin Hotel. Yeah, it's there. I don't know if we need further discussion. We might have looked at this exact article before, but that's fine because I forgot most of it. This I forgot about. Remember this? In the know? Mike Judge. Mike Judge, stop motion. I'll put it down. It's out. I don't know how it's doing so far. I am nominating it. What else do we have? Second best hospital in the galaxy. Not sure. Let's look at how this one's been faring so far. 6.2 on IMDb, 92 on Rotten Tomatoes. People also search for In the Know. Also, Grimsburg. Grimsburg is 5.5 on IMDb, 71 on Rotten Tomatoes. It does kind of look like junk. Is this the Jon Hamm Show, perhaps? I think that's the Jon Hamm Show, and you know what? Grimsburg is not going to get onto the list. But I will add second best hospital in the second best hospital in the galaxy. You know, a long title, you want to earn it. I'm not sure if we've hit the mark there. But yeah. What else does this great article have for us? X-Men 97? I don't think so. For one, it's not out yet. Yeah, I don't know. Throwback superhero stuff for the sake of being a throwback superhero thing. Is that the vibe of Invincible 2? Ugo, have you seen Invincible? I know we've talked about it before on the stream. In general, I don't know if you had watched it or not. But I'm split. I'm split on that one. We're probably gonna leave it for now. It was as I saw the first episodes of the second best hospital. It's workplace comedy. I did not like it that much. Did not like any of the leads. They just use the animation to showcase gross stuff. Okay, so it that communicates to me kind of network adult animation, I suppose, regardless of where it's actually. I don't know if it is on TV or just streaming. That's what it sounds like to me. Okay, well, I'll leave it here for now. We'll see. But yeah. This. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh, I don't think I want this. I don't think I want this for a number. For one thing, that Harley Quinn, the that HBO Harley Quinn animated show was good, right? That was pretty good as far as I remember. Is this supposed to be a continuation of that, or a pivot, or is this just a complete spin-off? I don't know. Uh, Regardless, I don't. Well, the other reason I'm not so interested is because WB/DC also tried to invoke anime in some way with that Superman show. Remember that Superman that we all forgot about? I definitely made a video about it. I can't even tell you when it was originally released, but it was so many of the headlines or the reviews were like, "Oh, it's oh look, it's Superman but anime." Except it seemed that no part of it was genuinely influenced by like I don't, maybe character designs in the tiniest sense, but otherwise, in terms of how everything was actually executed, it just seemed incredibly plain and just like incredibly typical American television animation. I don't know. Again, that makes me think it's bold, for them to include isekai. That implies that they're trying harder. uh, that there will be more style going on here. But so far, well, based on description and a still image and other efforts from this media entity, I don't think I'm there. Man, wow, okay, a lot of superhero stuff. Also, Ugo's catching me up here. Thank you. Ugo says I saw the first season of Invincible. It was okay, but it does end the season very strong. Okay, gotcha. Maybe some cliffhanger stuff, I assume. Also, Suicide Squad Isekai. It's a new thing, but okay, so it's its own spinoff. Gotcha. Just outside of the list, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that one to be kind of interesting. Although, like, I would, if they're hiring an anime studio to produce it, okay, we got a shot. Otherwise, I don't know. It seems less likely to be successful in that way. Also, continues to feel weirdly appropriative to me to say, hey, we're going to do sort of the anime thing, but we're going to do it badly. And we're going to do it with a Western studio. I don't, I think it's a bad decision in multiple ways. Uh, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. And I guess we continue. It's been years now of this too, of leaning into like, hey, let's make fun of the dumbest heroes from the canon. Of your Marvel. DC does it more often, I think. Um, how long can that last? How long are we gonna do that for? Oh look, there you go. Season 5 of that show. Really? Did I even finish one season? Maybe. Wow. Okay. And that is not for a while. We got some time. Creature Commandos never heard of. So much super. My God. Have we heard of this? A Tomb Raider animated series? I have not. Who is it doing this? Not a lot of details. Okay. Okay. A DMC Netflix show. All right. Yet another superhero thing. Now Kite Man is a spinoff of Harley Quinn. Wow. So just like the success, the success of that show is just supporting all these leeches. That's mean. I should maybe they're maybe the spinoffs will be super great. Oh my goodness. Okay. Uh, uh where else can we look? Okay, I'm not especially impressed by the list that we have going here, so far. How about I don't know if it's currently it is still recent. How do we feel about Carol and the End of the World? This is one where I have only heard about it. You know, uh, I have not checked it out yet, but have just continued to hear just great things about it, and I have no details. I have absolutely no idea what we have for a premise. So I am very curious. On the one hand, the art direction looks close enough to network television animation, which I don't tend to. I specifically tend to not like how those shows look. But there is more here. I don't know. There's depth. Also, just the like the subject matter, I guess, and settings that we're seeing here are enough to get me sort of interested. Um, and yeah, I mean, other than that, it's apparently doing pretty darn well, uh, reviewing quite well. With a planet hurtling towards Earth, extinction is imminent for humans, while most feel liberated to pursue their wildest dreams. One quiet, uncomfortable woman stands alone, lost among the hedonistic masses. Okay, 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 all right. Okay, I think I'm in. We have seen that before. It's also just I don't know. I'm a sucker for premise heavy stuff to begin with, uh, especially apocalyptic sci-fi stuff. Um, I will add it to the list. I'm gonna say it's close enough uh, to being recent or just completely current. And I assume they've got more coming for us. They got more in the oven, maybe. But yeah, I'm up for it. Unless I'm up to try it. I will find out very quickly once I start watching whether it's something I'm actually into. But it definitely makes the list. And I'm glad to at least have some idea of what that show is now after seeing it around, so much. So there we are. Cool. I'm good there. What else do we have? Mm, okay. I don't know if it's just for advertising reasons, you know, paying for search results on Google stuff, but I do also continue to see stuff for Delicious Dungeon, which is an anime. We it's been a lot of Western stuff, a lot of American stuff so far. But we do have Delicious in Dungeon, which I got confused with a completely different anime, I think. Um, Pretty darn recent, definitely. It's on Netflix here in the U.S. You got people in a kingdom and they cook up monsters and stuff, right? Yeah, they start cooking up monsters. That's what I got. I have not I haven't been hooked. I have seen some of the preview material on Netflix, and it seems fine. So I don't, so far I'm not getting uh I'm not getting the hook. I haven't experienced the hook uh so far. So for now, I'm gonna put it over here. It's here but not here. Uh who knows? Maybe it'll really knock my socks off once I get in there. But for the moment, it doesn't stand out to me so much. Also, my goodness, the number of over years now, but the number of new anime series that just pull from video games. Like they just, they just look at a particular broad genre of video game and say, okay, this is now our setting. This is the basis for our show. There's a lot. There are a whole lot now. And I just don't see, I don't know. Again, I don't get the hook a lot of the time. Like there's a vending machine anime. A guy gets turned into a vending machine. But I guess the other part of the twist is that he's a vending machine in like a fantasy RPG realm, you know? So those are the kinds of characters we have. Those are the kinds of problems that he has to deal with as a vending machine. Even that one seems like it has a nice hook. It's not quite there. Not quite enough to sustain my interest in an entire show. Also, Polygon doing multiple. Do you think there's some marketing money being thrown around here? Maybe they just love it. I'm sure that's it. They just love the show. Felt like talking about it. Okay. What else do we have? I'm glad it has, again, yeah, Hazbin Hotel has to be on there. Funny, The Last Airbender live action pops up for this search, which is incorrect. Did we talk about it? Did we talk about that show at all? I don't think so. And I don't think I have any, I don't think I have it. Wow. I don't think I should say too much about it, really. Especially if I've talked about it already. But yeah, no. Yeah, still no. Still no for me. Still does not, get at what about the either the original source material or just that world is, compelling, interest. It's not there. The spirit is not there in a very obvious way. I don't know. Ugo said, I saw a review on End of the World, but during the review, it felt like a light critique of capitalism with the loss of third place, loss of community, loss of purpose, and also with the world ending. There is no need for money. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, more stuff that is potentially attracting me to that show, I guess. But it depends so much on execution. It depends so much on how everything lands. So no, I've continued to be interested for sure. I will probably, take a look when I have the time. But yeah, I don't know. Isolation, obviously, just from the premise, you can see, isolation being such a core aspect of the show's theming. I'm down, I'm down, and especially when when you can make that interesting. There's such a danger of making it incredibly mundane and just showing, isolation in some form, and that doesn't automatically make it interesting. So yeah, okay, cool. Even more curious than before, but yeah, haven't gotten to it yet. Okay. Any other thoughts? Any other places where we can look for other shows? What is Iwaju? Take a look at this. This is also very recent. Here we go. Iwaju. It is a Disney drama, animated drama. Kola, a young girl from a wealthy island, and her best friend Cole, a self-taught tech expert, discover the secrets and dangers hidden in their different worlds. Okay. Set in Nigeria. Okay. Haven't heard of it. Released at the end of February. Seems to be reviewing well. Can we get some images? I want to see the art direction. Oh. I guess it's mean to say when, you know, that something like this looks AI generated, right? That's a mean thing to say. The actual stills look more appealing, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Lighting, okay. Some of the character models look low budget to me, but maybe they're not. I don't know. It is television streaming, you know what I mean? But television animation still, right? It's never gonna have the budget of the full features. I don't know. This looks good. Again, lighting is really great. Okay. Well, okay. Without looking at a second of footage, you know what? It's going on the list. It's just weird enough, you know? Um strange. A premise that doesn't exactly tell me I'm going to assume it'll end up being about disparities. Uh if you use the phrase wealthy island, I'm immediately thinking of isolationism and you know, disparities, the outside world being less than or in need of, etc. We have a cute animal companion, it would seem. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen something that looks like this, and I don't know what they're going to do with it. So there you go. Here's some sort of pin you can buy. Uh, here's kind of an awkward still. It is a little bit awkward. But yeah, there we have it. Okay. Okay, well thank you, Google search results, I guess. Uh, but it's on the list. Anything else? Is this real? Oh my. Oh my. Uh, here we have Megamind rules. Wow. Well, okay. Maybe enough said. Yeah, I'm there. Absolutely. I don't know. DreamWorks, guys. I just don't quite. It's just it's just back and forth and back and forth with them. There's something cool, you know, they pick up they move forward with an original IP. Then they go back to the, you know, then there's this. Then there's Kung Fu Panda 4. I don't know. Okay, anyway, yeah, yeah, but another one I'm happy to be aware of. Uh but that's what we got. Ugo says I heard Megamind 2 was bad. It's on Paramount Plus. I saw the first, I think I saw the first movie in theaters. Original release. Did not see the second movie, and as you just, I had never heard of that show. Just a couple weeks old. And it's just stumbling out of the gate, I suppose. Yeah, what else do we have? Hmm. What else is going on? Does IMDb have any ideas here for us? Kung Fu Panda 4, thank you. Oh yeah, there is that Lord of the Rings anime show. I think it's actually being produced by an anime studio, but as far as I know, that was delayed until next year. I think. So I don't, and it's not out. Yeah, I'm not putting stuff here that's not already out. Came out 3 weeks ago. Yep. Looks like the show is a follow up of the movie. Okay. Why? Again, I just don't. The thought process there. I just don't quite get. Okay. IMDb is not giving me a ton of material. I don't like this. What else do we have? There's Waju. It's probably not pronounced that way. Second best hospital. There it is at a 6.2. Adventures in Wonder Park. I didn't want to get too much into movies, but the first Wonder Park was not good. All right. I'm thinking of the right one. Anything else? Another Pinocchio movie? From somebody? Okay. Okay. There's Panda Bear in Africa. Super Klaus. Yeah, I'm not getting a lot from this one. Inside Out 2, yeah, I don't know. I didn't really want to get into the movie stuff. So I won't. We're really just sticking to the shows. And I guess, this is a list. This is something. We've got stuff here, a lot of stuff that I've never heard of. We got a couple of things that I just knew already that I had to look at eventually and will do. I almost said Megamind. I was looking at this tab. Hazbin Hotel, obviously, is okay. Okay. Hazbin Hotel, absolutely. Like we just have to get there. We just have to get there. I don't, regardless of how I feel about it. Although, as maybe was previously stated, Hazbin Hotel is at such a weird disadvantage, despite the fact that the popularity of the original shorts represent a huge amount of wind at their back. That's also a terrible thing to live up to, right? And I don't know, especially now for reasons that I don't feel like delving into too much on the stream. There's also just the constant appetite for novelty, even if just only the most surface level novelty, right? So even if we're just talking about Hazbin Hotel, the essence of that, of those original shorts, of the concept, whatever, is deeper than the look, right? Like there's plenty going on there. There are some interesting characters. There's a cool premise. The way everything looks and how it's executed and the songs are a very small percentage of the overall product. But at the same time, those are the aspects, specifically the visual aspects, that capture attention. That's the stuff that looks good in thumbnails. That's the stuff that leads to fan art and free marketing, right? And I possibly now more than ever before, we have the constant appetite for just, I need a new thing, and it's available, right? Like it might take someone many years to develop a particular style, a particular look that they're going to infuse into their work, but the value of that is not equivalent to the effort that went into it, right? So as soon as that look, as soon as the surface level elements of that product are no longer brand new, no longer grab you as something different and exciting, the value seems to drain away as people immediately look for, oh, what's the next one? There are already thousands of alternatives to this. There are thousands of other things that I can consume instantly, right? And continue to feed the appetite, continue to move on to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. It makes sense that it took that long for Hazbin Hotel to go from original independent web shorts to a fully produced show that got shopped around to different streaming services. It makes sense it took that long to release. But in the meantime, while that very real and very difficult work was happening, it does feel like, you know, that portion of the audience, that portion of the audience that drives massive success as opposed to moderate success, moves on. I don't know. So I have no doubt we'll see something pretty similar with Amazing Digital Circus. Like whenever they produce a full series, or I guess it'll be a full series at some point, years from now, or even just a year from now, will we still want it? Will it still be worth, will it still have the I don't know, the legs to be racking up tens of millions, hundreds of millions of views and just massive amounts of attention? Or will it be time to just look for the next thing, to just look at the next thing, to look at any of the thousands of alternatives? I don't know. Ugo says Adventures in Wonder Park, did it have had to change directors many times in the animation stage? I believe the first one. I think this is a sequel. I think what I saw there on that list was a sequel. Because, yeah, the first one's 2019. It's Wonder Park. This is Adventures in Wonder Park. Wonder Park did not review well at all. It didn't do well. But, yes, it apparently changed directors a number of times. It didn't work out. Some very famous YouTubers talked about it and probably talked it to death. But anyway, that's what we do. So yeah, seems odd to me. It must have made a certain amount of money. It must have, earned its place. Let's take a look. No, 120 million worldwide, with a reported budget of 90 million. That is not that's that does not scream to me, oh, we gotta make a sequel. We gotta make a sequel 5 years later. I just don't see that. Yeah, Toots says, good evening. How's it going, Toots? What is up? How are you? We're here. Doing stuff. I don't know for how much longer, but I was trying to find these shows, specifically shows, not movies, animated shows, happening right now in some form, or that released very recently that you just, we should see, that I specifically should see, because I don't have a lot of time in general. So I thought it would be a good idea to get a sense of what, the zeitgeist. What's the stuff that's really happening right now? And this is what we've come up with so far, as well as a couple of things that absolutely do not, well, Megamind definitely does not need immediate attention, except for ironic purposes, I suppose. And then Delicious in Dungeon, I'm just split on. I haven't seen yet what makes that show special. The premise isn't enough. The look isn't enough. At least, based on what I've seen so far. Man, I'm losing out with these music choices. No. What do we got here? Oh, this is nice. Dude says, I've been sick for the last few days. On the plus side, I made a lot of progress in the new Prince of Persia game. It's great. Oh, nice. The side-scrolly one, right? What was it called? How did I forget that already? That was recent. That one. Wow. It's what, February? I did play the demo. Lost Crown. No? Yes. Yes. Yeah. Cool. No, I'm glad to hear. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it's been good. Well, apparently, if you've been, yes. Sounds great. Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll probably get it on sale, to be honest. Oh, and it is. Oh, no, it's not. Here's what I saw. 80% off. This is not. This is, you know. This is the one. Or one of the old ones. But yeah, no, I'd like to. I enjoyed the demo. I thought that was pretty good. And it's the type of game I get into more for sure. So I would probably enjoy that. Although I will say I just got a is it Sands of Time? I just got the PS3 Prince of Persia game. Long story short, I don't. I get tired of talking about the stuff I bought, but I got a PS3. Long story short, and then I was like, okay, I just need stuff for it. It doesn't have to be goods. I just need a bunch of stuff. So I've been buying lots, meaning a lot, multiple lots of old video games, and so, yeah, one of them had, I think, Sands of Time in there. Haven't tried out yet. It has some Ninja Gaiden games. Had lots of Call of Duty and Fight Night. I think there are 3 different Fight Night games in there. But I was most interested to look at what's still happening on the PS3 store, which is, you know, nearly dead. But I was lucky enough to grab a digital copy of Tokyo Jungle, which has been on my mind for years now. I really wanted to grab that. Anyway, tangent. Yeah. But cool. I'm glad. No, I'm glad. Sorry you've been sick. Yeah, I was sick last week. Yeah. Right. My gosh. I was sick pretty bad for a couple days, but I'm glad that it was just sort of a regular, you know, normie cold, I guess. It wasn't the COVID stuff, so I was very appreciative of all of that. And I keep seeing results for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I guess I have to look at this. What do you got for me, Wiki? Upcoming animated American web television series. It is the 26th television series and the 4th animated series in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that's going to Disney Plus. There you go. It's part of Phase 5. Okay, Wiki. You know, it's not the most. It was originally called Spider-Man Freshman Year, which I think I had heard about previously too. Cool. Okay. How about concept art? I want to look at some concept art. Okay. Okay. Well, we're we're jumping the rails. What? Now I'm interested. I don't know what images it's feeding me, but this is great. Are these just all the images for the entire wiki? Okay, that's enough of that. Anyway, so yeah, if this concept art is gonna be like 1-to-1 translated into the show, kind of interesting. It's obviously just like here are the retro comics, you know, like this is a page. This is just supposed to be a page from an old comic book. If they were able to translate so directly to the show itself, I would be kind of interested. I do think that's a compelling angle visually. Of course, you know, something we also notice here is that there's an immediate loss of depth. You know, it's still there, perspective is still applied, but like you know, it would look very flat on a TV screen. So I don't know. Okay, if that's indicative of the final look of the show, sort of interested. But if not, if they continue to sort of modernize and it becomes more and more generic, I'm less interested. That's all. You know, I'm also not a huge Spider fan. Hey, that works. Spider-Man fan personally. I don't hate him. I just don't follow, you know, that closely. So, but I guess it goes here. Sorry. It's hyphenated, yep. Dude says, I'm kind of sad that the PS3 was the last PlayStation console that could play CDs. Mine is at my mom's place, and she only uses it for CDs and Blu-rays now. Still haven't bought a dedicated CD player. Gotcha. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I guess I knew people who even had, like... Did the PS1 play CDs too? Because I'm pretty sure I knew people who kept it around just for that. And then I'm pretty sure PS2 did. I never had one. Also, this was part of getting that is because a couple years ago, I just wanted a PS2. I was like, I'll just buy one. I'll buy the kind of high prices, you know, off of eBay or something like that. I got one that didn't work. Then the seller said I broke it. So they didn't give me my money back, which is great. And then I got a PS2 Slim from just a local seller off one of those, you know, what do you even call those now? Reselling sites. So I just met some dude in like North Hollywood, and he's like, "Here you go. I actually have 3 of these. Which of these PS2 Slims would you like?" And I was like, "What? They all work, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, they all work. You know, just pick one." So I picked one. I brought it home, and it didn't work. So anyway, so I gave up on you know the PlayStations for a long time. But then yeah, looking into the backwards compatibility stuff, I was like, oh, okay, I'll just get a PS3 that can play the other stuff, and it'll be fine. So that is what I've been trying out here. But yeah, it's been nice. But no, it's a cool device, yeah. And of course, it was a Blu-ray player too, even though I guess the PS5 is as well. So I got options there. But yeah, I don't know. I would maybe play CDs on it. It's hooked up to the, you know, the sound system and everything. I think I do still have some CDs here. But yeah, I don't know. Hey, you know, I'm thinking about a good dedicated CD player that's available for sale right now, and nothing comes to mind. There's got to be something. I don't know. I guess if anything, I would say to try to steer clear of like the all-in-one units. You know what I mean? There are those boxes that'll be like, hey, this will play tapes, this will play CDs, this will convert stuff into digital audio to put on your computer. I don't think those tend to be all that great. Yeah. Ugo says, wait, they did not have a TV to show that it works. We met at a Starbucks. Or did you buy over the internet like eBay? So it was both. So the first one was on eBay, where the listing said, hey, it's functioning. I got it, and the disk drive would not open, like there was something jamming it. But yeah, no, we met at a Starbucks for the PS2 Slim, you know. So I was like, well, what? And I also think that like I tend to be trusting, not because I'm optimistic, you know, but because I want everything to work out. I want to believe that I can just buy a thing and enjoy it and everything's fine, you know? So that's why I thought, oh, sure, yeah, these are all working. And then I messaged the guy, of course, afterwards. But like, what do you do? It's not like eBay where you can do some kind of mediation, you know? It's just people messaging each other. So I was like, hey, it doesn't work. Please explain yourself. And he was like, oh, I swear it was working. What? Like, what happened on the during the gentle car ride home when it had it buckled into the seat? Like, what? Anyway. Tude says, how much was the backwards compatible PS3? They were really expensive when I got my PS3 Slim. It was expensive. Yes. It was too much. It's worth it to me. It's worth it to me given what I can do with it. And the fact that I won't be getting a PS2 or a PS1. So like, it's worth it on that level. However, it was also a little bit less expensive than some of the other backwards compatible models because I got a Japanese one. Which does make things tricky because the PS3 stuff is all region free. You don't have to worry about region coding. But PS2 and PS1 backwards compatibility, they are region locked. So I could hack it. I could do some custom firmware and change the region setting, I think. I'm not sure if I want to do that, so I happen to have some like Japanese PS1 and PS2 stuff. So I'm kind of fine, you know. I mean, I also have a Japanese GameCube, but that's another thing where I can switch the region. So, yeah. But yeah, it was expensive. It was still a big purchase, you know, that I was definitely questioning, but I'm happy to have it now. It was just a big gap. It was a big blind spot in my video game playing, and it's not something I experienced back in the day, really. Although I do think I played Tokyo Jungle on a friend's PS3 in college. That and Fat Princess. We played a lot. Let's see. Toot says my sound system is worth $4,000. Oh my gosh. So it always feels weird to play CDs from a USB CD drive attached to my laptop. Wow, that is a very expensive sound system. I hope you didn't pay full price. You know, just for the sake of it. But hey, if you're good, cool, go for it, man. But I totally understand. Yeah, I probably still have some of those external disk drives too. But yeah, no, as far as I knew, the PlayStations were actually pretty high quality CD players too, which is a thing. Let's take a look. This is the internet shopping portion of the stream, as always. Let me just we have here. Moon Audio mini CD? Does that only take mini CDs? Crutchfield. I do like Crutchfield for audio stuff, but uh-oh. Yeah, I guess I would say maybe dual purpose, right? So like whether it's a standalone Blu-ray player or multimedia kind of thing, like I those are available. I think there's a wider selection generally without getting into boutique territory. And at least some of, you know, a good number of the Blu-ray players or DVD players that I've had would also play CDs. So assuming that is still a feature in a lot of them, I think that would actually be kind of nice. Because then, you know, then you're not swapping it out, right? For a bespoke. You don't have to connect it up as a separate device to the sound system. But I'm not a big CD guy, so I can't say too much about it. But yeah, Cambridge Audio, that was the thing. I feel like we used to have some of their stuff. PBS? What? Oh, okay. You can do that. Oof. A $400 CD player? I don't know. I just don't know. Ooh, that's tricky. Anyway, sorry, let me catch up. Dude says, in the audiophile world, I'm still in the budget category for the most part. Speakers I want are $4,000 by themselves, with a similar amount for the electronics. It's just, yeah, it's just, I never go that far. If you're in the budget category, I'm in ultra budget, like gutter purchases, I suppose. But I've been happy with that too. I like the stuff I have, which is a hodgepodge. There's some stuff that I picked up at thrift stores. There's some stuff I've had since college, and then there's some stuff that I picked up, you know, more recently from reliable brands, I would say. But the only resource I would, you know, even offer up as a suggestion, you know, I'm not saying everything he does is great, but worth a shot. But yeah, there is a YouTube guy called Cheap Audio Man. Maybe you've seen his stuff before. Anyway, he's pretty big, I think. But I think he does a great job of sorting stuff out and just saying like, hey, you know, here's what you actually need to spend, you know, given the level of quality you're looking for, or what you're actually going to use it for, because not everybody is just listening to music, you know, on any set of speakers. But he has some good stuff, and I've used some like recommendations from him in the past. But yeah, in the thousands, it's just a whole other it's a whole other world to me, you know. And not something I've delved into or will anytime soon, I think. But yeah, well, hey, this one list we looked at was sort of helpful, although it is overwhelmed by superhero fare. But yeah, Curl in the End of the World does look pretty interesting. I will probably try it out. Is the music too loud? Just too loud for me, that's all. But yeah, anyway. I think that's what we have. I think that's what we have for now. I think that's our list, which, by the way, has apparently been blocked. Has it been blocked this entire time by my camera? Or was it just when I moved things around? Well, there it is. Here's the reveal. This is what we've got. Yeah. Dude says, I'm familiar with most of the big audio reviewers on YouTube. If you do want to get into true audiophile territory, Aaron's Audio Corner is probably the best. Cool. Maybe. Maybe not. I think it depends on my budget more than anything else. But good to hear. Yeah. Cool. All right. What else we got? Anything else we needed to catch? Any other quick recommendations? Any other quick topics anybody feels like bringing to the table? We'll try these. If we want, we could even try to do this show for, you know, Animation Book Club for the next stream. Watch a little bit, try to talk about it. Maybe. Just throwing it out there. But yeah, I'll probably try to watch it relatively soon. Toot has more info there. Does his own measurements, and it's great at showing what measurements actually mean in practice. You do have a baseline level of... You do have to have a baseline level of knowledge about audio going in. I would hope I meet that requirement, but then again, you know. Yeah, it's boy, the price points for some of that stuff just get completely insane. I don't know, kind of the same thing with I probably have a little bit more knowledge of like music audio equipment, specifically meaning, you know, music creation, recording stuff, just by a bit. And it does mirror portions of it mirror the audiophile community stuff to a crazy degree. And I don't know. I have strong opinions on a lot of the perceptions associated with that equipment and things, but it's a whole other topic. But yeah. Anyway. Well, cool. All right. Well, it's been about an hour and a half, so I'll probably wrap it up soon. We got something. We got something out of this one. In terms of the list, for sure. And as always, I always get something out of just chatting with you folks, so thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. thank you to the, I don't know, 80 or so, 50 to 80 people, I think. We, have actually watching the archive versions as well. Deeply, deeply appreciated. Thank you so much. It's been the only new stuff on the channel for such a long time that I'm so glad that anybody is taking a look at it, But yeah. And we'll see, hopefully soon, maybe just some more just straightforward reviews of some shows. Perhaps some ones on this list, which is, the ultimate goal of putting that list together. And we'll go from there. Yeah. Anyway. Sorry, Toots has a little bit more there. Yeah, if you're satisfied with your current speakers, you'll be much happier ignoring the audio space, probably. Generally, getting a good subwoofer, the only major upgrade most people would want. Good to know. Yeah, good to know for sure. And makes sense. It's a big part, and I also feel like there's more tech that goes into the sub-bass frequency response stuff. Just my impression, though. Yeah, you have a good night, Toots. Thank you so much for being here. Ugo, have a lovely night. Great rest of your week and a relaxing weekend. And I will see you folks next time. Thanks for stopping by.